Hi Leo, my ascendant brothers and sisters. Welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Leo is for you. But remember, there's no astrology in these. So check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, and I just have to say, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves ya. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and this resonates, hit the subscribe button. Your key to the week this week is the Magician card. So the power, my dear ascendant brothers and sisters, Leos, really does lie with you, right? The power is in your hands. So this is really about how you utilize your knowledge, your skills and your expertise. And if you had a magic wand, if you had the ability to shape your destiny in the way that you chose to in all of these different areas of your life, what would you do with it? If you had that power? And let me tell you something right here and now, you do. So what are you going to do with it? In all of these different areas of life, you get to make a choice. You get to make a declaration this week. For your actions and options, you have the Hermit card. So there's a big focus on mercurial energy this week. I know we said we weren't talking astrology, but the Hermit card is Virgo energy, and Virgo is obviously ruled by Mercury. The Magician card is Mercury, right? So there's a heavy emphasis. All of the things that you're doing at the moment have a mercurial slant to them. This is paperwork, documentation, negotiations, contracts. It looks like with the Virgo, it looks like with the Hermit card, you're working on something either very much on your own at the moment or very much behind the scenes. So it's like you're putting a lot of time and effort into something that you hope at some point moving forward you're going to see results from. Because it's the Hermit, what this tells me is you are doing that work. You are putting the work in. And look, the Magician eventually becomes the Hermit, right? The difference is the Magician has a wand, whereas the Hermit has a staff, right? And that shows wisdom. It shows knowledge applied. What is true wisdom? It's knowledge in application, right? When you put what you learn into practice, that's when your knowledge becomes wisdom. Now, that being said, when it comes to your the options that are available to you, the Hermit, so if you've been with me long enough, you've heard me say, when the Hermit shows up, the High Priestess has a message for you, right? And so what this really means is you realize that in order to really hear yourself think, or in order to apply this knowledge, you have to go on your own merits. This week, it's not going to cut it to defer to how somebody else would do something, what their ideas are. All of that kind of stuff goes out the window. This week, it really is about you showing up for yourself in some regard and as yourself, and the opportunity that you have here, the in terms of the options or the path that potentially opens up for you is to trust yourself enough to go in a direction and figure the rest out on the path, knowing that you have the skills to do so. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Moon card. Very interesting, because the Moon is 18, 1 and 8 gives you 9, but the Hermit card represents Virgo and the Moon card represents Pisces. So your communications and your actions, it's not so much that they're at odds with each other, but they do need to be considered in different ways, right? So a lot of the communications that you're having this week, it's communication coming in from the past. This could be with old teachers, old mentors, old gurus, people that you once studied with. What's really interesting about this is, if you haven't seen it, check out your April Astro Tarot reading that I've put out. So those are up and out there for your viewing pleasure. Make sure you check yours out, because it's really going to help you put some of this into context. Even more so now when I see this, I'm like, okay, that's cool. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this could literally be that you're going back to somebody that you studied with before. Maybe you're reconnecting. If you're not studying, maybe you are the teacher that's reaching out to somebody that you once taught, somebody that was a student of yours. There's a meeting of minds here and a reconnection to the past in some way. For those of you that are employed by somebody else, the moon card with the magician gives you a really, not solid, but the moon card with the magician gives you the ability to draw power from your past experiences and utilize that as knowledge. Even the ones that you think were mistakes suddenly become like, oh my gosh, yeah, I went through that, and actually that's a really interesting or a really important piece of the puzzle of what I'm working on now. It's like suddenly the path that you've tread becomes more relevant now than maybe it ever has been. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is a reconnection to powerful people that you once worked with or collaborated with. I am going to say here, it looks like there's a remedial connection coming in here as well. If you've had a problem or an issue with somebody that you worked with, somebody that you studied with, somebody that was maybe an important part of your world at one point, and maybe things went sour or they went south for any number of reasons, this could go a long way. Like, there could be a conversation here, maybe one that comes with a few tears, or if you're anything like me, just a really bloody good hug. And that might be enough to kind of cement a path forward for this. So I really like that. And then for those of you that are retired and no longer working, I think in a lot of ways, this is you sorting through and sifting through your past in order for you to kind of see not even where you're at now, but how to really move forward with that knowledge. For your love and relations, if you are partnered, married, or in a long-term commitment, that Four of Swords, so another sign had this, and I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Gemini. But I said to them, or no, it might have been, I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember. But I know another sign had this card with a different deck, obviously, in this position. And I said to them, it may very well be that your partner asks for a break this week. And I don't see it being the end of the relationship. I just see it being a point at which maybe you or a partner says, you know what, I need some space right now because I need to think my way around this situation. Because you've got it with the Hermit card here, it may just be that a partner is spending an extended period of time away from home this week. It could be that you're spending an extended period of time away from home this week. What I'll also say is for those of you that are single, who the love life has been on hold or been held up or whatever the case might be, this week you are getting into that... it's almost like you're getting into that space where you're kind of ready and you can feel that someone's coming, but you're like, okay, where are they? Why hasn't it happened yet? But you can kind of get the feeling that it is happening. You will have a blast from the past of some sort. That's very likely. I don't necessarily think that's for reconnection. I actually think it's for you to talk or to hash something out so that you can move forward. And then finally, when it comes to your... those of you that are, I've already done that. When it comes to your money and materials, you've got the Nine of Pentacles. This is so crazy, right? So the sign before yours, Cancer, had the Nine of Pentacles here, and they had the was it the Hermit card? I think was their key to the week, or either way, they had these sort of like these same similar cards. Now you've got the Hermit card, that's number 9. You've got the Moon card, number 18, 1 and 8 gives you 9. And you've got the Nine of Pentacles. 3 9s represent success. There is some kind of financial benefit, blessing, or reward this week that shows up for you. I don't think it's going to be so much out of the blue. I think it will be expected, but you might be surprised at the way that it shapes up or the source of that sort of payout. Because it's the Nine of Pentacles, this is about you enjoying the experience of abundance that you've created for yourself. You have manifested a time or a place or a period in your life where you can enjoy the fruits of your labor. This is you having the best experience, and my advice to you would be to absolutely savor it. With that said, the Nine of Pentacles, when it comes to money, is you enjoying the fruits of your labor. But more importantly, the Nine of Pentacles suggests that this is just a moment. Right? There's still more to come. There's still more to do. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, the Nine of Pentacles tends to show up as the digestive system. So that's something to think about as well, especially because you've got the Hermit card here as well, which is again indicating that Virgoan energy. This might be a time to really pay attention to that digestive sort of aspect of your life. And then when it comes to your home and environment, the Nine of Pentacles with the Magician card, whatever you have been working towards when it comes to either the home that you live in, the home that you own, for the home that you want to own, or the home that you're trying to buy, or any of that kind of stuff, this suggests a peak experience in that regard. And it's almost like you can see like now the finish line is in sight. It may not come yet. That's the thing about the Nine of Pentacles. It's not the 10. Right? It's not the 10 of Pentacles, which means you're getting a taster of it. You can kind of feel it's palpable, you're close, but it's not quite here, right? The 10 of Pentacles would be where you step back from hanging the picture and you kind of really stop to admire it. The Nine of Pentacles is the, wow, look at this picture. Now I'm going to hang it on the wall, right? So there's still a ways to go with it. It's not full attainment just yet, but it's very, very close. If you want to book your personal reading with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Before we go, I just want to say I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.